na truck sa India tumagilid, dalawang motorista nabagsakan.
Nakaligtas kaya ang dalawang motorista mula sa insidente? Ang ulat ukol sa kanilang kalagayan. Ating alamin mula sa mga detalye ng balitang ibabahagi maya-maya. Magandang gabi, ako po si Ricky Matay.
Ako si Nina Richie-Alago Flores, ito ang mata ng Agila International. Para naman sa mga headlines ngayong araw ng Huwebes.
Halos 100 Chinese POGO workers pinabalik na sa China.
Pilipinas at Malaysia nag-usap para palawigin ang security cooperation.
Taiwan nagpadala ng puwersa kasunod ang live fire drill announcement ng China.
Higit 2,000 residente inilikas dahil sa Iwate Forest Fire sa Japan.
At Amazon may bagong update na ilulunsad para kay Alexa. Nasa 78 Chinese nationals na ang pinadeport ng Bureau of Immigration pabalik sa China.
Ayon sa Immigration Bureau, ang lahat ng ito ay nahuling nagtatrabaho sa illegal na Philippine offshore gaming operator POGO companies sa Pilipinas. Ang pagpapauwi sa mga Chinese nationals ay kasunod din ng mga serye ng pagsalakay ng mga law enforcement agencies sa mga pinaniniwalaang yungib ng illegal POGO operations. Ayon kay Immigration Bureau Commission Joel Anthony Viado, pinasakay ang mga Chinese deportees sa isang chartered flight patungong Xi'an, China sa arrangement ng Chinese Embassy. Ngayong 2025, nasa 226 na dayuhan ang naaresto sa mga serye ng operasyon na ipa-deport ang Immigration Bureau. Ang mga ito ay nahuli sa ilang lugar sa Pilipinas, katulad ng sa Parañaque, Cavite at Pasay City. Samantala, napadeport din ng Immigration Bureau ang 10 Vietnamese nationals na pawang nagtatrabaho rin sa POGO ngayong linggo.
Tinalakay ng Pilipinas at Malaysia ang kanilang mga susunod na hakbang para palawigin pa ang kanilang security cooperation sa sidelines ng ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Retreat sa Penang, Malaysia. Sa isang kalatas ng Department of National Defense, sinabi ng ahensyang nakipagkita sa Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. kay Malaysian Defense Minister Mohammed Khaled Nordin para sa isang bilateral meeting. Anila, sa naging pagpupulong ng dalawang top officials, muling inulit nila ang commitment ng Pilipinas at Malaysia na palakasin ang defense relations ng dalawang bansa, partikular na sa maritime security, counter-terrorism efforts at iba pa. Sinabi naman ni Secretary Teodoro na pagkasunduan ng Malaysia at ng Pilipinas na magtulungan sa ilalim ng diplomasya para mapag-usapan ang mahahalagang issue ng mapayapa. Ito po ay sa kabila ng territorial dispute sa pagitan ng dalawang bansa. Noong October o November 2024 kasi, nagprotesta ang Malaysia laban sa inaprubahang bagong maritime laws ng Pilipinas dahil na rin sa overlapping claims ito sa South China Sea. Pinasalamatan naman ni Teodoro ang Malaysian government sa naitulong ito sa Pilipinas noong tumama ang 6 na bagyo sa bansa noong nakaraang taon.
Walang onion hoarding. Ito ang paglilinaw ng Department of Agriculture kasunod ng kanilang inspeksyon sa mga sibuyas sa mga cold storage facilities sa buong Pilipinas. Ayon sa monitoring ng Bureau of Plant Industry, nasa 500 metriko tonelada ng kanilang naitalang nakasilid sa mga bodega na karamihan nasa rehiyon ng Southern Tagalog at Central Luzon. Ang naging inspeksyon sa mga cold storage facilities sa bansa ay sa utos ni Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr. sa gitna ng pagsirit pataas ng presyo ng sibuyas sa merkado. Sa kabila nito, inaasahan ng ahensya na aabot sa 145,000 metric tons ng red onions at 35,000 metric tons naman ang puting sibuyas ang magiging ani para sa buwan ng Marso at Abril. Samantala, binala ng Agriculture Department ang mga masasangkot sa hoarding at magmamanipula ng presyo ng sibuyas lalo't malapit na ang harvest season. Anila, pananagutin nila ang mga ito.
Ipatutupad po ng Department of Agriculture sa buwan ng Marso ang mas pinababang presyo ng imported rice. Ayon sa Department of Agriculture, nasa 49 pesos ang magiging maximum retail or suggested retail price ang kada kilo ng imported na bigas. Sinabi naman ni Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr., sisimulan muna itong ipatutupad sa Metro Manila at sa iba pang lungsod at urban centers. Dagdag pa ng kalihim, kailangang nakasinga ipatupad ang MSRP sa imported rice dahil pumapalo na sa 64 pesos ang kada kilo nito sa kabila ng ipinataw na 20% tariff cut. Anya, pinag-aaralan na ng ahensya ang magiging hakbang nila para mapababa pa ang presyo ng imported rice sa mga susunod na araw. Noong January 20, nasa 58 pesos ang unang presyo ng MSRP ng imported rice at saka ibinaba ito ng 55 pesos itong February 5 at 52 pesos naman itong February 15.
Dapat itigil ng China ang pakikialam nito sa mga desisyon ng Pilipinas. Ito ang payo ni National Security Council o NSC spokesperson Jonathan Malaya sa China kasunod ng panawagan ng Beijing na alisin na ng Pilipinas ang US Typhoon missile na nakadeploy sa Luzon. Pero bumuelta si Malaya at sinabihan ng Chinese state media na may karapatan ng Pilipinas na palakasin ang depensa nito. Pinaalala rin ng opisyal na hindi kailanman pinuna ng Pilipinas ang missile arsenal ng China na nagdudulot ng tunay na banta sa katatagan ng rehiyon. Nakakalinlang din daw na magkokomento ang China sa karapatan ng Pilipinas na pagbutihin ang defense capabilities nito, lubhang pinapalakas ng China ang offensive capabilities nito. Binigyan diin ni Malaya ang posisyon ng Pilipinas na gamitin lamang ang US Typhoon missiles para sa defense purposes.
Naalarma ang Malacanang matapos maaresto ng National Bureau of Investigation o NBI ang mga umano'y Chinese spies na sangkot sa pag-eespiya sa Presidential Palace, militar at sa pulisya. Dahil po dito, tiniyak ni Presidential Communications Undersecretary at Palace Press Officer Claire Castro na paiigtingin ng Malacanang ang seguridad ng palasyo. Gayon din ang seguridad ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Sisikapin din anya ng gobyerno na matugunan ang issue ng foreign espionage.
Nakakaalarma po talaga yung balita na yan at magpagpupursigihin pa po natin at paiigtingin po natin ang ating puwersa para po masugpo ang mga sinasabi at napagbibintangang spies. At kailangan po talaga na mas maigting ang pagsisiguridad or ang seguridad ng ating palasyo at of course ng Pangulo.
Noong nakaraang buwan ay may naaresto rin po ang NBI na 5 Chinese nationals na hinihinalang nag-eespiya sa mga aktibidad ng Philippine Coast Guard, Philippine Navy sa Palawan at resupply mission sa West Philippine Sea.
Inilabas ni Senate President Francis Cheese Escudero ang panukalang calendar of impeachment trial para kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Target ng Senado na simulan ng judicial proceeding sa July 30. Hiniling din ni Senador Escudero na bigyan siya ng authorization ng mga kapwa mambabatas upang mapag-aralan ang impeachment rules upang maisalang at maaprubahan ito sa mga miyembro sa pagbabalik ng sesyon sa June 2. Sa June 3 naman ay magko-convene anya ang Senado bilang impeachment court at manunumpa na rin ang mga mambabatas bilang mga senator judges. Pagkatapos nito ay sisimulan na sa June 4 ang pagpapadala ng mga summons habang sa June 14 hanggang June 24 naman ang reception ng pleadings. Sa June 24 hanggang June 25 ang pre-trial para sa reklamong impeachment. Tatapusin muna ang SONA ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at ang oath-taking ng mga senador na mananalo sa midterm elections sa July 28 at 29. Kinabukasan o sa July 30 naman ang formal na pagsisimula ng impeachment trial.
Para magkaroon sila ng ideya na at nang habang recess ay matimbang na nila kung ano talaga yung gusto nila at anong magiging pasya ng mas nakararami kaugnay niyan. Pangatlo, minabuti namin na bigyan ng kopya nitong mga bagay na ito, yung sulat sa mga senador, yung calendar of activities, At gayon din yung special order na inisyo ko na inaasahan ang iba't ibang opisina dito sa Senado ng mga magiging papel nila kaugnay ng impeachment kapag nangyari na nga yan. Lahat yan pinagbigay alam din namin sa Kamara sa pamamagitan ni Speaker Martin Romualdez at sa nasasakdal kay Vice President Sara Duterte para sa kanilang impormasyon, reference at kaalaman sa interes ng pagiging transparent. Dahil lahat ng nakasaad doon, pinag-usapan na natin at hindi naman bago at hindi sikreto. Kaya alam, minabuti na namin isulat yon at gawing formal para kung may gustong mag-question.
Susunod, Taiwan, tinapatan ng live fire drills ng China.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky nakatakdang bumisita sa White House.
At Donald Trump inulan ng batikos dahil sa kanyang AI video. Yan at iba pang mga balita sa pagbabalik ng Mata ng Agila International.
Itong pinsan ni Olivia, kunwari pa.
O ano, di ba maalaga siya?
Ay, kulang pa yan. Marami pa siyang kailangan patunayan.
Mukhang boto naman kay Dominic.
Payaw ko yan.
Pasado na si Dominic. Pero,
Nasusunog daw ngayon yung ospital malapit sa supermarket.
love me, love my voice. Gabi-gabi, 8:30 p.m. on NET25.
Let's get together sa NET25. Sa NET25.
Prestigious event honors those who have made an extraordinary impact in shaping the marketing landscape and advocates of sustainability, education, and social enterprise. Here are the 43rd Agora Awards by the Philippine Marketing Association.
It was a matter of really taking time to understand the consumer, how you can unlock the pain points that they're experiencing.
That's what we do. We stay relevant, we stay connected, and we stay updated.
It's just a remarkable show of how marketing can change behavior and help a country become even more financially literate.
Open for business with Cesar Vallejos. Sunday, 9 p.m.
Sa NET25.
Ipinadala ng Taiwan ang puwersa nito kasunod ng anunsyo ng China na pagsasagawa ng live fire drill sa labas ng isla ayon sa Taiwan Defense Ministry. Kinondena din ng Taiwan ang naturang exercises ng China bilang mapanganib. Ayon sa ministry, nag-deploy ang China ng 32 aircraft sa palibot ng Taiwan bilang parte ng joint combat drill nito at inanunsyo ang pagsasagawa ng live fire exercises sa lugar na nasa 40 nautical miles lang ang layo mula sa timog na bahagi naman ng sovereign island nation. Subalit tinugunan naman ito ng Taiwan sa pamamagitan ng pagpapadala ng kanilang sea, land at air assets para magmasid, mabantayan at matugunan ng maaayon ang naturang exercises ng China. Sinabi naman ng Taiwan Defense Ministry na lantarang nilabag ng People's Liberation Army ng China ang International Code of Conduct sa pamamagitan ng pagtatalaga ng drill zone 40 nautical miles lamang ang layo sa baybayin ng Kaohsiung at Pingtung, Taiwan. Kinundena rin ito ang pagsasagawaan niya ng China ng live fire exercises nang wala man lamang paunang babala o abiso sa gobyerno ng Taiwan. Hindi lamang umano ito nagdulot ng mataas na panganib sa kaligtasan ng international flights at vessels na dumadaan sa karagatan, kundi maituturing din ito na lantarang provokasyon sa seguridad at stability sa rehiyon. Ang pagpapaigting nga ng deployment ng China sa mga asset nito sa may palibot ng Taiwan ay sa gitna ng patuloy na paggiit ng higanteng bansa na bahagi ng kanilang teritoryo ang Taiwan, bagay na mariing tinutulan naman ng Taipei. Sa ilang pagkakataon ay sinabi ni Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te na bukas ito na makipagdialogo sa Beijing upang mapahupa ang tensyon sa pagitan ng dalawang bansa at mapanatili ang kapayapaan at katatagan ng kanilang rehiyon.
Taiwan cherishes peace, but we also have no delusions about peace. We will uphold the spirit of peace through strength, using concrete actions to build a stronger Taiwan and bolster the free and democratic community. As a responsible member of the international community, Taiwan will maintain the status quo. We will not seek conflict. Rather, we are willing to enhance in dialogue with China under the principles of parity and dignity and work toward maintaining peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait.
Sa isang pagbisita sa China ay ipinahayag ni New Zealand Foreign Minister Winston Peters ang kanyang pagkabahala ukol sa isinagawang live fire drills ng Beijing sa Tasman Sea.
We mentioned the recent event with respect to the naval exercises from China. And the irony of the use of naval weaponry in the Taiwan situation just in the last 24 hours, and talk to them about the lack of notice that you would expect for a country like ours in a relationship with China to have had.
Ang kanyang pangunahing punto ay ang kakulangan ng pahintulot ng China ukol sa gagawin nilang drills na siya namang nagresulta sa pagkakagulo ng mga ruta ng international flights malapit sa Australia at sa New Zealand.
Well, we placed it in the context of, look, we've had this special relationship which was first begun in 2008 and expanded upon. We're in our second decade of this arrangement. And this is a failure in it at this time, and we'd like to have it corrected into the future.
What exactly is the failure?
The failure to give us adequate notice.
Ayon kay Peters, pinag-usapan din nila ang missile launch test na isinagawa ng China noong Setyembre kung saan bumagsak malapit sa exclusive economic zone ng French Polynesian region.
Well, we did raise the issue that we were in French Polynesia not so many months ago when a missile landed on the very edges of French Polynesia, where most Pacific island nations got no warning at all, and we got little warning. And this was the same context. So we were just asking, what is the purpose of this here?
Iginiit pa ni Peters ang kakulangan ng pagkakaintindi ng China sa constitutional agreement sa pagitan ng New Zealand at Cook Islands. Ayon po sa constitutional agreement sa pagitan ng dalawang bansa, kinakailangan ng Cook Islands na konsultahin muna ang Auckland pagdating sa mga security, defense, and foreign policy issues. Sa mga nakarang buwan ay pumirma ang Cook Islands at China ng mga comprehensive strategic partnership at iba pang kasunduan sa China nang walang maayos na abiso sa kanilang bansa.
Believed that they needed more information coming from the embassy in Wellington as to the nature of the special arrangement, but that there was an irony about this. They were misconstruing, and they need to understand the constitutional arrangement, which they said they did now. And the second thing, we did say that we got more information out of China on those deals than we ever got out of the Cook Islands. There was an irony not lost on them.
Matapos tumaas ang tensyon sa pagitan ng Bangladesh at India, ay tila nililigawan daw ng China ang gobyerno ng Dhaka. Nagpadala rin ng Bangladesh ang 22-member delegation sa China para sa isang 10-day visit doon. Ayon sa mga political analysts, asahan na raw na tatalakayin ng mga opisyal ang issue ukol sa kay Bangladeshi leader Sheikh Hasina na kasalukuyang nasa India dahil sa naka-exile ito rito. Tumanggi ang gobyerno ng India sa extradition request ng Bangladesh. Sinabi ng mga experts na ito ang nakikita nilang dahilan kung kaya't nagiging malapit sa isa't isa ang Dhaka at Beijing.
Ipinagtanggol ni South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol ang kanyang deklarasyon ng martial law sa kanyang huling pahayag sa impeachment trial. Sinasabing ito ay hakbang upang ipaalam sa publiko ang banta ng oposisyon sa bansa.
많은 국민들께서 여전히 믿어주고 계신 모습에 무거운 책임감도 느꼈습니다. 국민 여러분께 죄송하고 감사하다는 말씀 먼저 드리고 싶습니다. 비상계엄의 목적이 망국적 위기 상황을 알리고 헌법 제정 권력인 주권자들께서 나서 주시기를 호소하는 것이었는데 이것만으로도 비상계엄의 목적이 상당 부분 이루어졌다고 생각하게 됩니다.
Habang inaasahang magpapasya ang Constitutional Court bago mag-march kung aalisin siya sa pwesto o ibabalik ang kanyang kapangyarihan, nanindigan si Yoon na walang mali sa kanyang ginawa. Matatandaang nagdeklara na martial law si Yoon noong December 3 na nagdulot ng kaguluhan sa politika at ekonomiya ng bansa. Dahil po dito, inimpeach siya ng liberal opposition, controlled National Assembly at kinasuhan ng rebelyon kung saan maaari siya mahatulan ng panghabang buhay na pagkakabilanggo o parusang kamatayan. Pinanindigan naman ni Yoon at ng kanyang gabinete ang kanyang desisyon ay para mapanatili ang kaayusan at hindi hadlangan ang trabaho ng lehislatura. Gayunpaman, ilang opisyal na militar ang nagsabing inutusan sila ni Yoon na pigilan ang mga mambabatas sa pagbawi ng kanyang kautusan.
저 개인적으로는 알기론 검찰총장님까지 하셔서 법에 대해서는 누구보다도 아마 전문가 아니신가라는 생각도 하는데 국민을 상대로 또 전 세계, 전 국민에게 방송을 통해서 그것을 이렇게 얘기를 하시는데 그게 위법이다, 위헌이다라는 생각을 하등에 할 여지가 없었습니다.
Nagkakaroon ngayon ng malawakang kilos protesta sa mga lungsod ng South Korea kung saan hati ang mga mamamayan sa pagsuporta at pagtutol kay Yoon. Kung tuluyang muling maaalis sa pwesto, magkakaroon ng snap election sa loob ng 2 buwan upang pumili ng bagong pangulo.
임무에 복귀하게 된다면 먼저 펼칠 체제를 우리 몸에 맞추고 미래 세대에게 제대로 된 나라를 물려주기 위한 개헌과 정치개혁의 추진에 후반부를 집중하려고 합니다.
Kinumpirma ng South China Spy Agency na nagpadala uli sila ng mga sundalo o nagpadala uli ng mga sundalo ang North Korea sa Russia para lumaban sa Ukraine. Ang nasabing alegasyon ay ilang araw matapos i-anunsyo sa international community na nalalapit na ang isang ceasefire agreement sa gitna ng Russia at ng Ukraine. Wala pang eksaktong numerong ibinigay ang ahensya ng South Korea, ngunit sinabi nilang nakadeploy ito sa Kursk sa kanlurang bahagi ng Russia. Wala pang ibinibigay na komento ang North Korea at National Intelligence Service ng South Korea ukol sa naturang issue. Sa ngayon ay nasa halos 11,000 na mga sundalo na ang naipadala ng Pyongyang sa paglalayong mabigyan ito ng mahalagang pagsasanay ang kanilang militar sa isang live combat situation. Kasunod din ito ng panawagan ni North Korean leader Kim Jong-un para sa isang malakas at modernong militar na kayang harapin ang kahit anong pagsubok na dala ng kanilang mga karibal na bansa.
Patay ang 5 katao matapos ang ginawang airstrike ng Russia sa Ukraine. Nangyari ang airstrike sa Kostiantynivka City at ayon po kay Vadim Filashkin, ang namumuno sa Donetsk region na naglunsad ng 3 guided aerial bomb sa bansa. Dagdag pa nito na naging madalas na ang ginagawang pag-atake ng Russia sa mga sibilyan sa lugar. Nagdulot din ng matinding pinsala ang mga kabayan o sa mga kabahayan sa nasabing lugar ang mga pagsabog na ito. Una rito ay 2 katao na rin ang nasawi sa drone strike ng Russia sa Kyiv region noong nakarang araw lamang.
Sinabi ng Ukraine na nagkaroon nito ng pansamantalang kasunduan na ipasa ang profits o kita mula sa ilang mineral resources nito sa Estados Unidos. Ito ay bago ang inaasahang pagbisita ni Pangulong Volodymyr Zelensky sa Washington sa Biyernes. Alamin natin ang mga detalye mula kay Yolanda Aspiras.
Ang kasunduang mineral ay mahalaga sa pagsisikap ng Ukraine na tiyakin ang malakas na suporta mula kay Pangulong Donald Trump. Hangad ng Ukraine ang mabilis na pagtatapos ng digmaan laban sa Russia. Kasabay nito ang mga pag-uusap ng Estados Unidos at Russia na ipagpapatuloy sa Huwebes. Ngunit hindi kabilang ang Kyiv sa usapang ito. Iminungkahi ni Trump ang kasunduan bilang kabayaran para sa mga bilyong dolyar na tulong ng Washington sa Kyiv sa panahon ng digmaan. Ngunit para kay Zelensky, wala silang utang na salapi.
Головне для мене було, що ми не є боржниками. І незважаючи, що де звучить в медіа, в угоді немає ні 500 мільярдів боргу, ні 350, ні 100 мільярдів, тому що це було би несправедливо.
Humihiling si Zelensky ng mga garantiya sa seguridad bilang kapalit ng mga kita at rights sa mineral ng Ukraine. Ngunit hindi malinaw kung tagumpay ang mga kahilingang ito.
Ця угода може бути частиною майбутніх гарантій безпеки, але я хочу розуміти, угода угодою, а треба розуміти ширше бачення, що чекає Україну, де ми. Ця угода може бути великий успіх мати, або тихенько пройти. А великий успіх, я вважаю, залежить від нашої розмови з президентом Трампом.
Batay sa isang kopya ng draft ng kasunduan, sinasabing ang pamahalaan ng Estados Unidos ay sumusuporta sa mga pagsisikap ng Ukraine upang kamtin ang mga garantiya sa seguridad na kinakailangan upang magtatag ng pangmatagalang kapayapaan.
Немає договіру, який наступний. Ось він складніший буде і серйозніший, тому що наступний договір про фонд. І там буде вже якісь там відносини партнерські, гроші, тощо і так далі. Так? І ось він, наступний договір, він буде вже мати обов'язкову ратифікацію в парламенті України.
Yolanda Aspiras para sa mata ng Agila International. Trusted, connected, on point.
Nakatakdang bumisita sa White House si Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky sa araw ng Biyernes.
President Zelensky is going to be coming on Friday. That's now confirmed, and we're going to be signing an agreement, which will be a very big agreement. And I want to thank Howard and Scott for the job you guys did in putting it together. You really did an amazing job. And that'll be on rare earth and other things. The previous administration put us in a very bad position, but we've been able to make a deal where we're going to get our money back, and we're going to get a lot of money in the future.
Щодо візиту, я думаю, що візит, нам запропонували, так, але я хочу отримати, офіси працюють, який формат, коли, так, там робоча є дата, те, що сказав президент Сполучених Штатів Америки, п'ятниця, офіси на зв'язку. Ця угода може бути частиною майбутніх гарантій безпеки, але я хочу розуміти, угода угодою, а треба розуміти ширше бачення, що чекає Україну, де ми.
Президент Франції Еммануель Макрон.
Sinabi ni US President Donald Trump. na mayroong malakihang kasunduan ang Ukraine at ito ay ang US-Ukraine mineral deal. Hindi naman na binanggit ni Trump na ginagaransyahan niyang seguridad ng Ukraine. Subalit, makailang binanggit nito na ang pagkakaroon ng access ng US sa mga minerals ng Ukraine ay siyang nagbibigay ng automatic security. Ipinagmalaki rin ni Trump na nalalapit nang matapos ang kaguluhan sa pagitan ng Ukraine at Russia.
Ця угода може бути великий успіх мати або тихенько пройти. А великий успіх, я вважаю, залежить від нашої розмови з президентом. Немає договіру, який наступний. Ось він складніший буде і серйозніший, тому що наступний договір про фонд. І там буде вже якісь там відносини партнерські, гроші, тощо і так далі. Так? І ось він, наступний договір, він буде вже мати обов'язкову ратифікацію в парламенті України. Безумовно, це про економіку договір, але я дуже просив, щоб з'явилось хоча б розуміння, що ми однаково бачимо, що все це є частиною майбутніх гарантій безпеки. І тому навіть в рамковій угоді я дуже хотів, щоб з'явилось хоча б речення гарантії безпеки України. І те, що мене брифінгували урядовці, це з'явилось, не пам'ятаю, в 10-му пункті чи в якому, важливо, що це є.
Inulan ng batikos ang kontrobersyal na AI-generated Trump Gaza video na inilabas ni Donald Trump sa kanyang mga opisyal na social media accounts. Ang sinasabing video na nakakuha ng halos 10.5 million views at halos 2,400 global reposts isang araw pa lamang matapos na maipos ang naturang video. Nagresulta ito sa malawakang pagkondena mula sa parehas ng Republican at Democratic parties, Arab nations, international organizations at mismong ibang Trump supporters. Ang naturang video na nakatitulong Gaza 2025 What's Next ay nagpapakita sa artificial images ng Gaza kapag nagtagumpay si Trump na sakupin ito kung saan pinapakitang katulad ito ng Dubai. Sa ibang pang parte ng naturang video ay makikitang nag-e-enjoy si Donald Trump at Israeli Prime Minister sa isang resort sa naturang rehiyon. Naipalabas rin dito si controversial billionaire at unofficial presidential advisor Elon Musk na nagpapaulan ng pera. Kinundina ni UN Special Rapporteur on Palestinian Human Rights Francesca Albanese ang naturang video kung saan sinabi niyang nakakadiri ang ginagawa ni Trump sa social media, kung saan sinabi niyang parte lamang ito ng estratehiya ni Trump o ng Trump admin na linlangin ang publiko ukol sa mga pangunahing suliranin ng kanilang bansa.
Iniabot na ng Hamas sa Israel ang 4 na bangkay na kanilang bihag. Ayon kay Ezzedini Al-Qassam Brigades na hindi na sila magsasagawa ng public ceremony bilang bahagi ng peace deal. Noong nakaraang linggo kasi ay ikinagalit ng Israel ang pagparada pa sa publiko ng mga bangkay ng kanilang mga binihag. Kapalit nito ay pinakawalan ng Israel ang nasa 620 Palestinian prisoners, kabilang na ang mahigit sa 400 na Gazans na ikinulong ng mga Israeli forces. Manggagaling ang mga inmates sa Ofer Prison sa West Bank at Ketziot Prison sa southern Israel. Susunod, 2,000 Japanese citizens inilikas dahil sa isang forest fire.
Alexa mapapalitan na bilang voice assistant ng Amazon.
At pagretiro ni Thomas Bach bilang presidente ng Olympic Committee na lalapit na. Mga detalye po ng mga balita niyan at iba pa mga balita sa pagbabalik pa rin na Mata ng Agila International.
Alam namin ang iyong pagsisikap. Dama namin ang iyong mga sakripisyo. Kita namin ang pagharap mo sa bawat pagsubok. Kaya sa kabila ng mga hamon ng buhay, nandito kami para umalalay. Kasi katulad mo, gusto rin namin ang magandang bukas para sa kanya. Hatid namin ang dekalidad na edukasyon at makabagong pasilidad sa abot kayang halaga. Kaya huwag ka nang mangamba, sasamahan ka namin tuparin ang mga pangarap niya. Maaasahan mong sulit dito ang mga pinagsikapan mo. Sa aming mga makabagong pasilidad at sistema ng edukasyon. Mailalabas natin ang aking talino at mga kakayahan niya. Kahit sa munting halaga, makakasiguro ka na makakasabay siya sa mabilis na pag-ikot ng mundo. Sa New Era, karamay mo kami sa bawat hamon. Kaagapay mo kami sa bawat hakbang. Kasama mo kami sa bawat ngiti at tagumpay.
Nagbabalik ang mata ng Agila International at sa pagpapatuloy po ng ating mga balita ngayong gabi. Isang humaharurot na truck ang tumagilid nang binagsakan ang dalawang rider na motorsiklo sa kahabaan ng Dopurbari Road sa India. Ayon sa lokal na ulat, nadala pa sa ospital ang isang biktima, subalit doon na ito namatay habang dead on the spot naman ang isang kasamahan nito. Kinilala ang dalawang nasawi bilang sina Arvind at Vijay, kapwa residente ng Bugiram Nagar Colony sa Dolpur. Pinaniniwala ang papauwi na ang dalawang biktima matapos magpakarga ng gasolina nang naganap ang trahedya.
Pinaghahanap na ng otoridad ng Arapahoe County sa Colorado, USA ang tatlong sospek sa pagnanakaw ng dalawang aso sa isang pet store. Ayon sa pulisya, pumasok ang 4 na sospek sa loob ng Perfect Pet Store para magmasid sa loob ng gusali. Pero pagkatapos ng ilang sandali, isang kasabwat nito ang nagkunwaring inatake ng seizures. Dahil abala ang ibang empleyado ng pet store sa pag-asikaso sa akala nilang medical emergency ng kanilang customer, ay dito na umakto ang mga magnanakaw. Kinuha ng 3 sospek ang 2 bulldog puppies at saka umeskapo sa eksena. Ayon sa manager ng pet store, nagkakahalaga ng $4,299 ang bawat isa sa mga aso. Nakikipagtulungan na rin ang Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office sa publiko para malaman ang pagkakakilanlan ng mga sospek.
Higit sa 2,000 residente ang inilikas matapos ang inihaing evacuation order dahil sa sumiklab na forest fire sa Iwate Prefecture sa Japan. Ayon sa state broadcaster ng Japan, nagsimula ang forest fire sa Asak o Akasi, Kicho District. Iniulat ng Ofunato Municipal Government na nasa 84 na residential buildings ang napinsala dahil sa forest fire. Wala namang napaulat na nasaktan o nasawi sa insidente.
Viral ngayon ang isang video ng isang unggoy sa Thailand na nag-ala traffic enforcer sa daan. Ayon sa lokal na ulat, tinutukoy na ang unggoy sa video ay isang macaque monkey. Batay sa nakasaksi ay bumaba ang unggoy mula sa isang puno at matapos ang ilang sandali ay nagsimulang sumenyas ang hayop sa mga dumaraan na sasakyan na para bang siya ang nagkokontrol ng trapiko. Marami naman ang nagsasabi na natutunan yata ng hayop ang pagsenya sa mga police checkpoint sa Thailand. Samantala, kahit nakakaaliw, ang ganitong senaryo ay pinapaalala pa rin ng mga wildlife experts na vulnerable species ang macaque dahil sa mga exploitation na kanilang nararanasan mula sa mga poachers.
Stranded ngayon sa Panama ang 65 deportees mula sa Estados Unidos. Nag-aabang ang mga migrante sa paliparan ng Panama upang makauwi na sa kanilang mga bayan. Alamin natin ang kanilang kalagayan mula kay Chantel Santos.
Noong Huwebes, lumapag sa paliparan ng Panama ang ikalawang deportation flight mula sa Estados Unidos. Ayon sa Ministry of Public Safety, 65 bagong deportees kabilang ang 16 na menor de edad ang dumating sa pansamantalang shelter na itinayo sa border ng Panama sa Paso Canoas. Sa border crossing na ito, naiipit ang maraming migrante na walang paraan upang makauwi.
Estamos trancados, hermano. Aquí estamos, todos los países venimos bien, nos están prestando el apoyo. Costa Rica, excelente, una excelente persona. Pero de aquí para allá el tranque. Panamá. Hay que buscarse 500, 700 dólares para poder pasar la base de ahí, de este pedazo, hasta Colombia. Entonces necesitamos una ayuda, porque ¿a dónde sacamos nosotros 500 dólares, 600 dólares? Eso es mentira. Entonces necesitamos la ayuda porque la gente se está portando bastante mal, nos llevan a punte para mire cómo lo tenemos a todos durmiendo allá, ¿ves? Por toda esa orilla lo tenemos a todos durmiendo, mi hermano. Entonces le pedimos al gobierno que una ayuda, por favor.
Ang iba'y nagpasya na lamang manatili sa Panama at nag-apply ng asylum. Para sa ibang umasa ngunit nabigo, hindi sila nabigyan ni kapirasong oportunidad.
Mi situación es de calle, amigo. En Venezuela soy maestra de educación y trabajaba por todos estos países de albañilería. Y llegó ahorita y bueno, nos sacaron deportados. Pasamos y nos sacaron de una vez. No nos dieron la oportunidad de nada.
Ang ikalawang deportation flight ay lumipad mula sa San Antonio, Texas. Lulan din ang mga migrante mula sa Russia, China at Vietnam. Isa ang Costa Rica sa mga bansa sa Latin America na sumang-ayon sa Administrasyong Trump na tumanggap ng deportees bilang unang lapagan ng mga ito bago umuwi sa kanilang mga bansa.
Bueno, de las autoridades de Costa Rica no, gracias a Dios nos han tratado con mucho respeto. Bueno, a mí, no sé a los demás. A mí me han tratado con respeto, igual al grupo. Y, ¿qué le puedo decir yo a las autoridades? Que son buenas autoridades, hacen cumplir sus leyes, gracias a Dios. Aquí nos tienen a nosotros, miren.
Ang pagdedeport ng mga illegal na migrante mula sa US ay isa sa mga hakbang ng bagong presidente bilang pagtupad dito sa pangakong paghihigpit sa agos ng mga undocumented migrants papasok ng bansa. Chantal Santos para sa mata ng Agila International, trusted, connected, on point.
Tumaas ang birth rate ng South Korea matapos ang 9 na taon dahil sa epekto ng workplace birth schemes at childbirth bonuses na ipinatutupad ng gobyerno.
2024년 출생아 수는 23만 8,300명으로 전년보다 8,300명이 늘어 3.6% 증가했습니다. 2024년 합계 출산율은 0.75명으로 2023년 0.72명보다 0.03명 증가했습니다.
Ayon sa datos ng statistics, ang birth rate ng South Korea na kasalukuyang pinakamababa sa buong mundo ay tumaas ng bahagya matapos ang halos 9 na taon. Noong 2015 ay naitala ng Korea ang 1.24 births noong 2015 dahil sa pagtaas ng mga taong ikinakasal na naantala naman dahil sa pagdating ng pandemya. Simula rito ay patuloy na bumababa kada taon ang fertility rate ng bansa hanggang sa 0.72% noong 2023. Sa ngayon ay tumaas ng bahagya ang kanilang birth rates ng 0.75 nitong 2024. Malayo pa rin ito sa kanilang tinatarget na 1 birth per woman sa taong 2030. Ang bahagyang pagtaas ng naturang numero ay ang resulta ng mga programang ipinatupad matapos magdeklara si President Yoon Suk-yeol ng isang national demographic crisis. Matapos nito ay nagsagawa ang mga kumpanya ng pag-amyenda ng kanilang polisiya para sa mga magulang na nagnanais magkaroon ng anak kung saan nagbibigay ng mas mahabang maternity leave at oras para sa pagpapatingin sa mga eksperto ang mga would-be parents. Nagsimula rin na mag-abot ang gobyerno ng childbirth bonuses na nagkakahalaga ng $70,000 o 100 million won. Nais makamit ng Korea ang kanilang ideal birth rate na 1.89 births per woman sa loob ng 10 taon.
Patay ang isang bata sa Texas matapos itong tamaan ng tigdas. Andrea Herno para sa balitang yan.
Sa kasalukuyang paglago ng kaso ng tigdas sa Estados Unidos, isang bata sa Texas ang namatay. Ito ang kauna-unahang naiulat ng malubhang karamdaman at nakakahawang sakit sa loob ng isang dekada. Batay sa ulat ng Texas Health Department, humigit sa 130 tao na sa dalawang magkatabing state ang nagpositibo sa naturang sakit. Hindi na bakunahan ng bata at namatay ito sa Children's Hospital.
We are following the measles epidemic every day. I think there's 124 people who have contracted measles at this point, mainly in Gaines County, Texas. Mainly, we're told, in the Mennonite community. There are 2 people who have died, but we're watching it, and there are about 20 people hospitalized, mainly for quarantine. We're watching it. We put out a post on it yesterday, and we're going to continue to follow it. Incidentally, there have been 4 measles outbreaks this year. In this country last year, there were 16. So it's not unusual. We have measles outbreaks every year.
Iniulat ni Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. na isang vaccine critic sa isang pagpupulong ang natamong casualty. Ngunit, taliwas naman ito sa inilabas na datos ng kanyang ahensya. Ang mga pasyente ay nagkakaroon ng mga sintomas katulad ng mataas na lagnat, namumulang mga mata, pagbara ng ilong, ubo at pagkakaroon ng rash mula sa mukha. Ang karamdaman ng mga bata ay inagapan sa pamamagitan ng supplemental oxygen at high-flow oxygen. Mayroon ding gamot para sa high fever at IV fluids. 1 hanggang 3 pasyente kada 1,000 positive cases ang namamatay dahil sa measles. Andrea Huevos Herno para sa Mata ng Agila International, Trusted, Connected, On Point.
Nagbabala ang isang eksperto sakaling magpataw pa ng lalong paghihigpit ang administrasyon ni Donald Trump ukol sa pag-e-export ng artificial intelligence chips, magiging problema na ito ng NVIDIA. Si Anjo Milano para sa report.
Ayon sa Chief Investment Officer at co-founder ng IDX Advisors na si Ben Macmillan, alalahanin para sa AI powerhouse ng NVIDIA ang potensyal na paghihigpit pa ng administrasyon ni Pangulong Donald Trump ng Estados Unidos. Kabilang rito ang karagdagang mga tuntunin sa bilang at klase ng NVIDIA chips na maaring i-export papuntang China.
China start to reduce demand and pivot to internally sourced chips, or again just something out of what we saw with DeepSeek, where they just figure out how to do more with the lower tier NVIDIA chips, which aren't banned. So I think China restrictions is a very real concern going forward, on par with the potential retrenchment in demand. And it's kind of part and parcel with, what we saw with the DeepSeek issue a couple of months ago.
Ayon sa isang report, nagbabalak ang Trump administration na higpitan ang semiconductor restrictions ng US sa China bilang pagpapatuloy at pagpapalawak ng mga aksyon ng administrasyong Biden na limitahan ang abilidad sa teknolohiya ng Beijing. Sa kaugnay na balita, sinabi rin ni Macmillan na babantayan ng Wall Street investors ang NVIDIA ukol sa anumang pagbaba ng produkto o serbisyo o sa anumang kompresyon ng halaga ng premium Blackwell chips ng kumpanya. Ang paglulunsad ng murang AI models ng DeepSeek ng China noong Enero ay pumulbos sa $250 trilyong mula sa market value ng NVIDIA sa loob lamang ng isang araw. Paniliwanag ni Macmillan ng ukol sa pag-aalalang inidulot ng DeepSeek. Anjo Milano para sa Mata ng Agila International. Trusted, Connected, On Point.
Inanunsyo ng Amazon noong Miyerkules ang unang major overhaul ng Alexa Voice Assistant mula nang ito ay ipakilala noong taong 2014. Narito po ang mga detalye mula kay Ashley Sakmar.
Ang bagong Alexa ay mayroon ng Generative Artificial Intelligence. Ang pagbabagong ito ay mahalaga para sa Amazon na naglaan ng $1 bilyong mula nang inilunsad ang Alexa noong 2014. Layunin nitong ilagay ang serbisyo sa iba't ibang mga device at palakasin ang benta sa pangunahing e-commerce website nito. Inilarawan ni Amazon Devices and Services Vice President Panos Panay kung gaano kalawak ang alam ni Alexa sa users nito.
The new Alexa knows almost every instrument in your life. Your schedule, your smart home, your preferences, the devices you're using, the people you're connected to, the entertainment you love and use, many of the apps you use, a lot of the services you need, and brings them together into what is an incredible symphony.
Ang bagong serbisyo ay tinatawag na Alexa Plus. Ayon kay Panay, dulot nito ang mataas na antas ng tech at streaming service. Binigyang diin din ni Alexa and Echo Vice President Daniel Rauch ang lalim ng kaalaman ni Alexa Plus.
The next thing to note about Alexa Plus is the deep knowledge. Every interaction with Alexa Plus is deeply grounded. And the goal is to be able to quickly answer customers' questions from any domain.
Ang serbisyo ay maaaring kumonekta sa mga produkto ng Amazon tulad ng Ring doorbells upang ipakita ang mga recording mula sa mga kamera nito. Sinabi ni Mara Siegel, direktor ng Alexa, na kayang suriin ni Alexa ang mga dokumento tulad ng kontrata ng Homeowners Association upang malaman ng isang residente kung ano ang pinapayagan tulad ng pag-install ng mga solar panel.
Just like that. So what you saw there easily saved me several hours.
Ang bagong Alexa AI service ay kayang tumugon sa maraming prompt ng sunod-sunod. Ito ay kakaiba sa kasalukuyang bersyon na karaniwang tumutugon lamang sa isang request sa bawat pagkakataon.
You know, how are you actually using this new generative AI revolution to make Alexa meaningfully better? And so our team has been working on this for several months. I've had a chance to use it for the last several weeks. It is really remarkable in my opinion.
Ashley Sakmar para sa mata ng Agila International. Trusted, connected, on point.
Tinanggap na ng International Olympic Committee o IOC ang resignation ni IOC President Thomas Bach bilang IOC member.
I strongly believe that after 12 years in the office as IOC President, our organization is best served with a change in leadership. During all these years, you, my dear colleagues and friends, have always followed the mantra I pronounced when introducing the Olympic agenda: change or be changed.
Ang nasabing resignation ay epektibo sa darating na June 23, 2025, ang araw para sa paglilipat ng posisyon sa bagong Pangulo. Isasagawa kasi ang halalan para sa pagkakaroon ng IOC President sa darating na March 20 na gaganapin naman sa Costa Navarino sa Greece. Isinumite ni Bach ang kanyang resignation matapos na i-anunsyo ng IOC Executive Board sa kanilang sesyon sa Paris na hindi ito palalawigin ang kanyang pagiging Pangulo kahit na nais ng ilang miyembro ng IOC. Nahalal si Bach sa pagkapangulo noong September 10, 2013 bilang pangsyam na Pangulo ng IOC. Muling naihalal siya sa ikalawang pagkakataon para manungkulan ang 4 na taon noong Marso 10, 2021. Naging Olympic champion siya nang manalo ng gintong medalya sa foil fencing noong 21st Olympiad sa Montreal noong 1976. Naging Pangulo din siya ng German Olympic Sports Confederation noong 2006.
We have as a mission to unite all the athletes of the world in a peaceful competition. We have the responsibility not to punish athletes for the acts of their governments. And this is something, what the athletes around the world who support our approach are also always expressing that they do not want to be held responsible for actions of their governments.
Kinoronahan na ng World's 100 Best Coffee Shops ang Toby's Estate Coffee Roasters matapos manguna sa listahan ng Best Coffee Shops in the world for 2025. Si Agila para sa detalye.
Kilala ang Toby's Estate sa paggawa nila ng kape sa harap ng mga customers at ang kanilang on-site roastery para sa kanilang everyday fresh coffee beans. Ipinahayag naman ng Toby's Estate ang kanilang kasiyahan nang malaman nila ang kanilang pagkapanalo. Kaya bilang pasasalamat ay nagkaroon sila ng free coffee day. Sinabi naman ng General Manager ng Toby's Estate na si Jody Leslie, nakikita niya ang pagkapanalo ng shop bilang panalo na rin ng buong Australia. Nagsimula ang naturang cafe sa Sydney at sunod na binuksan naman ang kanilang mga bagong branch sa Middle East, Singapore, Indonesia at pati na rin dito mismo sa Pilipinas. Pasok din sa listahan ang mga coffee shops dito, tulad ng Yardstick na nasa 18 spot, El Union Coffee sa 61, Single Origin sa 83, at Crema and Cream Coffee Roasters sa 86. Higit sa Toby's ay pasok sa top 100 ng best coffee shops ang Onyx Coffee Lab ng US, Gotha Coffee Experts ng Austria, Proud Mary Coffee ng Australia, at Tim Wendelboe ng Norway. Sinuri ang lahat ng mga coffee shops batay sa kanilang coffee quality, sustainability, food, at customer service. Higit pa rito ay hinihingi rin ang public opinion at evaluation ng mga eksperto para sa final ranking. Krisa Agila para sa mata ng Agila International. Trusted, connected, on point.
Isang pambihirang celestial event ang masasaksihan sa buong mundo bukas, February 28, 2025. Masisilayan po sa kalangitan ang paghahanay-hanay ng 7 planeta, ang Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, Venus, Uranus, Mercury at Saturn o ang tinatawag na planetary alignment. Kilala rin ang celestial event na ito bilang the Great Planet Parade. Ayon sa Pag-asa, ang pinakamainam na oras para matanaw ang planetary alignment ay simula sa paglubog ng araw hanggang alas 9 ng gabi. Dagdag pa ng Weather Bureau, hindi na kinakailangan ng special astronomical equipment upang masilayan ang pambihirang celestial display na ito. At narito po kami para maghatid ng balita saan mang dako ng mundo. Magandang gabi po. Ako po muli si Ricky Matay.
Ako si Nina Richie Lago Flores. Ito po ang Mata ng Agila International. Para naman sa iba pang mga balitang nanggaling din sa ibang panig ng mundo, punta po tayo kay Alma Angeles para sa Mata ng Agila World News. Take it away, Alma.
Thank you, Nina and Ricky. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alma Angeles for NET25 World News. On tonight's headlines. Tonight, we're following major developments on the international stage in Washington and a sad loss in Hollywood. First, Ukrainian President Zelensky has announced a preliminary security agreement with the United States, and he's calling it a vital first step, but insists on stronger guarantees before finalizing the deal. President Trump has confirmed he'll meet with Zelensky this Friday in Washington, where he expects the agreement to be signed. Next, Elon Musk joins President Trump's first full cabinet meeting. The tech billionaire pushes for significant cuts in government spending and is urging federal agencies to prepare for more layoffs. And finally, a somber note, Hollywood is mourning the loss of legendary actor Gene Hackman and his wife. Local media in New Mexico report the couple were found dead in their Santa Fe home. Authorities say there's no initial indication of foul play. And the news starts now. U.S. President Donald Trump said Volodymyr Zelensky would visit Washington on Friday to sign an agreement on rare earth minerals, while the Ukrainian leader said the success of the deal would hinge on those talks and continued U.S. aid. Under the deal, which Ukraine's prime minister has called preliminary, Kiev would hand some revenue from its mineral resources to a fund jointly controlled by the U.S. And the agreement is central to Ukrainian attempts to win strong support from Trump as he seeks a quick end to Russia's war.
This agreement could be part of future security guarantees. But I want to understand, An agreement is an agreement, but we need to understand the broader vision. What lies next for Ukraine, where we are in all of this?
Now, Trump said Zelensky would sign the agreement on rare earths and other topics during his visit.
President Zelensky is going to be coming on Friday. That's now confirmed, and we're going to be signing an agreement, which will be a very big agreement. And I want to thank Howard and Scott for the job you guys did in putting it together. Really did an amazing job. And that'll be on rare earth and other things.
But suggested Washington would not make far-reaching security guarantees.
Well, I'm not going to make security guarantees beyond very much. We're going to have Europe do that because it's in, we're talking about Europe as their next door neighbor. But we're going to make sure everything goes well. And as you know, we'll be we'll be really partnering with Ukraine in terms of rare earth. We very much need rare earth. They have great rare earth.
Kiev has been seeking U.S. security guarantees as part of the deal cast by Trump as a payment for U.S. aid to Kiev during the war. Condition of the deal, a move Trump frames as part of the overall support Ukraine has been receiving since Russia invaded in 2022.
The main thing for me is we are not debtors. There is no $500 billion debt in the agreement, nor $350, nor $100 billion, because that would be unfair.
M. Stephen Fish, a political science professor at UC Berkeley, slammed the deal as an absolute absurdity.
For the United States to try to extract $500 billion in mineral resources from Ukraine after giving Ukraine about $60 billion in aid is an absolute absurdity. Not only is it obviously completely lopsided, but we need to keep in mind that Ukraine has been defending the United States and our West European allies and our European allies more generally from Russian aggression ever since Russia invaded Ukraine for the second time in 2022. The Ukrainians have been doing the fighting and dying. All we've done is provide some aid, which is a pittance compared to what we've gotten from them, which is defending Europe against Russian aggression.
At the same time, Trump's rush to bring an end to the war in Ukraine and his sudden softening toward Moscow has raised serious concerns. Critics worry that his approach might force the U.S. into making too many concessions to Putin, potentially putting the security of Ukraine and Europe at risk and shifting the entire geopolitical landscape.
Trump is saying that he sides with Putin and that he doesn't side with Zelensky. He's very hostile to Zelensky, like he is to our traditional allies. And then to say that, well, you should fork over $500 billion in rare earth minerals in response to all this wonderful treatment I'm giving you is beyond surreal. And it's just the kind of thing we can expect from Trump. I can't imagine West European leaders engaging in this kind of nonsense.
Now, new reports indicate North Korea has sent additional troops to Russia. South Korean intelligence suggests a further deployment, though the exact number remains unclear. According to South Korean media, citing the National Intelligence Service, these troops have been sent to Russia's Kursk region, and this area has seen intense fighting, with Ukrainian forces pushing across the border into western Russia. Attempts to reach the National Intelligence Service for comment were unsuccessful. However, this follows previous reports from the NIS that North Korea has already deployed over 11,000 troops to support Russia in the Ukraine war. There are also claims from Ukraine and Western experts that Russian forces are using North Korean weapons. It's important to note that North Korea has not officially acknowledged any military support for Russia in the ongoing conflict. U.S. President Donald Trump's administration ordered federal agencies to undertake more large-scale layoffs of workers, while the president let downsizing czar Elon Musk take a star role at his first cabinet meeting and discuss his ambitious budget-cutting targets. A new memo instructed agencies to submit plans by March 13 for a significant reduction in staffing to a federal workforce already reeling from waves of layoffs and program cuts by Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE.
I'd like to add that those million people that haven't responded, though, Elon, they are on the bubble. You know, I wouldn't say that we're thrilled about it. You know, they haven't responded. Now, maybe they don't exist. Maybe we're paying people that don't exist. Don't forget, we just got here. This group just got here. But those people are on the bubble, as they say. You know, maybe they're going to be gone. Maybe they're not around. Maybe they have other jobs. Maybe they moved and they're not where they're supposed to be. A lot of things could have happened. I wouldn't say that Biden ran a very tight administration. They spent money like nobody's ever spent money before, wasted money. The Green New Scam, all of the different things they spent money on.
Elon Musk addressed U.S. President Donald Trump's first cabinet meeting of the new administration, saying his mission to cut government spending was urgent.
The overall goal here with the Doge team is to help address the enormous deficit. We simply cannot sustain as a country $2 trillion deficits. The interest rates, just the interest on the national debt, now exceeds the Defense Department spending. We spend a lot on the Defense Department, but we're spending like over $1 trillion on interest. If this continues, the country will become de facto bankrupt. It's not an optional thing, it is an essential thing. That's the reason I'm here. And taking a lot of flack, and getting a lot of death threats, by the way. I mean, I'd like to stack them up, you know. But if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt. That's why it has to be done.
Trump continued to give his full backing to Musk's Department of Government Efficiency cost-cutting team known as DOGE. Here's what he said when asked by a reporter if he was getting any pushback from members of his cabinet.
Is anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, well, throw them out of here.
Federal workers are unhappy with Musk's approach and have sued to protect their jobs, as have other groups who are seeking to block DOGE from accessing government systems and slashing programs. While Musk has waved a chainsaw on stage at a political event in a bold display of his group's efforts, his official role remains unclear, which has complicated the lawsuits against DOGE. When pressed by one judge about Musk's position, a Justice Department lawyer said, quote, "I don't have any information beyond close advisor to the president." The judge persisted, asking, "You can't tell me what role he has?" The initial executive order signed by Trump setting up DOGE described it primarily as an outfit to modernize software, not an agency, and designated Musk as a special government employee.
We're cutting down government. We're cutting down the size of government. We have to. We're bloated. We're sloppy. We have a lot of people that aren't doing their job. We have a lot of people that don't exist.
The scant information presented in court about who is ordering the cost-cutting and how it is working has led some judges to rule in favor of Musk and DOGE, at least for now. Though despite noting concerns about DOGE's lack of transparency, some judges have found there is sufficient evidence to pause its activities.
Donald Trump has threatened to slap a 25% tariff on imports from the European Union, accusing the bloc of taking advantage of the United States.
We have made a decision. We'll be announcing it very soon, and it'll be 25%, generally speaking, and that'll be on cars and all of the things. And European Union is a different case than Canada, different kind of case. They've really taken advantage of us in a different way. European Union's it was formed in order to screw the United States. I mean, look, let's be honest. The European Union was formed in order to screw the United States. That's the purpose of it. And they've done a good job of it, but now I'm president.
What will happen if these countries or the EU retaliate?
They can't. I mean, they can try, but they can't. No, they can do it, and they can try, but the numbers can never equal what ours, because we can go off. We are the pot of gold. We're the one that everybody wants, and they can retaliate, but it cannot be a successful retaliation, because we just go cold turkey. We don't buy anymore, and if that happens, we win.
This threat came during the first full meeting of his new administration, adding to a series of announcements about import charges targeting two of America's largest trading partners, Canada and Mexico. The European Commission quickly dismissed his threat as unjustified, promising that Europe would respond swiftly and firmly. While Trump didn't share many details, he said an official announcement was coming soon and stressed that what he sees as an unfair trading partnership. The heart of Hawaii's Big Island is beating with fire once more. Kilauea volcano, a constant presence in the lives of Hawaiians, erupted again, sending lava fountains skywards. Now think of a 6-story building, then double it, and that's how high the molten rock reached. The USGS confirms the eruption, happening within the Kaluapele caldera, lasted about half a day. Though the lava remains within the summit, it continues a pattern of volcanic activity that began back in December, reminding us of the dynamic nature of this volcanic landscape. Meanwhile, tragedy struck Quezon City early this morning. A devastating fire ripped through a 3-story apartment in Barangay San Isidro, Galas, claiming the lives of at least 8 people. The fire, which erupted shortly after 2 a.m. on 19 de Agosto Street, was brought under control within an hour by responding firefighters. The Bureau of Fire Protection is now investigating the cause of the blaze and working to identify the victims. Arson investigators believe those who died were trapped as the fire rapidly consumed the building. Released Chinese military activity was detected around Taiwan, but although there was a spike in activity, Taiwan's defense ministry confirmed that live fire exercises had not taken place in the drill zone off the southwest coast. Following the report surge in Chinese military activity near Taiwan, 2 senior Taiwanese officials have confirmed that no live fire exercises were detected within China's designated drill zone. They characterized the activity as similar to recent Chinese military maneuvers in the South China Sea and near Australia, noting a pattern of exercises conducted without adequate prior notice.
Maintaining peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait and the Indo-Pacific region is the greatest consensus of the international community. As a member of the region, China in recent days has been unilaterally conducting threatening and harassing activities near Vietnam, the Philippines, and the waters off New Zealand and Australia. Yesterday, February 26th, it drew an exercise area without warning on the international shipping route off Taiwan, claiming to conduct shooting training. This is a blatant violation of international conventions. It is not only a threat to international airspace, but also a threat to the safety of maritime navigation, creating a high risk and a blatant provocation to regional security and stability. The presidential office expresses severe condemnation.
One official described this lack of warning as extremely rare and exceeding general expectations. The officials also emphasized the need for risk management among democratic allies, indicating ongoing discussions. Meanwhile, Taiwan's foreign ministry has labeled China the biggest troublemaker in the region, calling for international condemnation of China's repeated and unilateral actions. Notably, when questioned in Washington, U.S. President Donald Trump declined to comment on whether the U.S. would intervene if China attempted to take control of Taiwan by force.
I never comment on that. I don't comment on anything because I don't want to ever put myself in that position. And if I said it, I certainly wouldn't be saying it to you. I'd be saying it to other people, maybe people around this table, and very specific people around this table. So I don't want to put myself in that position. I have a great relationship with President Xi. I've had a great relationship with him. We want them to come in and invest. I see so many things saying that we don't want China in this country. That's not right. We want them to invest in the United States. That's good. That's a lot of money coming in, and we'll invest in China. We'll do things with China. The relationship we'll have with China will be a very good one.
Meanwhile, China's military released a video of many warships carrying out drills at an unidentified location at sea. China's defense ministry said the drills, which had alarmed Taiwan off its coast, were routine, and the island should stop complaining.
台有关部门针对解放军例行演训活动发表的言论纯属炒作， 我们要求其停止耍心机、蹭热点。
In another development, New Zealand's foreign minister said he raised concerns over China's recent live-fire drills in the Tasman Sea during meetings with Chinese leaders on Wednesday. The issue was a lack of notice given to New Zealand over the military exercises off its coast, according to Winston Peters.
We mentioned the recent event with respect to the naval exercises from China and the irony of the use of naval weaponry in the Taiwan situation just in the last 24 hours, and talk to them about the lack of notice that you'd expect for a country like ours in a relationship with China to have had. Well, we placed it in the context of, look, we've had this special relationship which was first begun in 2008 and expanded upon. We're in our second decade of this arrangement, and this is a failure in it at this time, and we'd like to have it corrected into the future.
What exactly is the failure?
The failure to give us adequate notice.
A massive raid in Pasay City has dismantled an alleged international scam hub, leading to the arrest of over 400 foreign workers. The Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, or PAOC, reports that operatives from the PNP, CIDG, and the DOJ Office of Cybercrime, acting on a tip from a concerned citizen, raided the One Wheels condominiums. And here's what they discovered inside.
Specifically yung Pasay City Police Station. And ito ay nagresulta sa pagkakakuha natin ng 391 foreign nationals. At marami rin tayong Pilipinong nakuha, mga kulang-kulang 50 na mga Pilipinos na nagwo-work dito sa Pogo Hub na ito. May mga nakita tayo na mga computers na ginagamit nila sa lab scam operation. Meron tayong mga computers na nakita na ginagamit nila sa cryptocurrency at sa investment scam. At meron din mga text blasters na nakita sa loob na kung saan ito ay ginagamit para makapag-text blast ng mga scamming activities na kanilang i-introduce. Ito yung mga halimbawa sa loan scam, ito yung sa mga pag nag-click ka pwede ka maging ma-scam once na nag-click ka ron sa pinadala nilang mga link.
The Pasay City government has issued a cease and desist order shutting down the operation for operating without a permit and violating President Marcos' ban on pogos. A small victory, but a massive problem remains. 84 Indonesian nationals rescued from scam centers in Myanmar's Miyawadi have been repatriated through Thailand. While this marks progress, a Thai lawmaker is sounding the alarm, claiming that hundreds of thousands of people are still trapped in these illegal operations along the Thai-Myanmar border.
And the number of the people, from what I know, in Chowekoko, maybe the victim and also the boss or the Chinese who really want to work on this business, maybe overall it's around 100,000 people. KK Park, another place that's really big, maybe it can be another 100,000 people. So overall, in just only Miyawadi, we are talking about the number of, the people involved in this industry of the scam. Maybe it could be like 300,000 people. And now, how many people that we rescue? Less than 10,000. So, we are talking that the scale of this kind of business that we destroy, maybe less than 10%.
In Parliament today, Thai Prime Minister Paitengtorn Shinawat said the issue of scam centers is an urgent matter the government was addressing. Although scam centers around Miyawadi and other frontier towns have operated for years, they came under renewed focus after the abduction of Chinese actor Wang Xing in Thailand last month, which kicked off a social media firestorm in his home country. Wang Xing was later found in the Miyawadi area, rescued and sent back to China. More than 7,000 foreigners, mostly from China, are waiting to cross from Miyawadi into Thailand, which is coordinating with multiple embassies to streamline their repatriations. A tragic development in the United States. A child in West Texas has died from measles. State health officials confirmed the death, marking the first U.S. death from measles in a decade. Take a look.
A child in West Texas has died of measles, according to Texas health officials Wednesday. It's the first reported U.S. death in a decade from the highly contagious disease. It came as confirmed cases reached more than 130 across both Texas and now New Mexico. Officials say the ongoing outbreak began in a rural Mennonite community, which was close-knit and under-vaccinated, and where children are largely homeschooled. Most of the infected were small children and teenagers. Measles was declared eliminated in the United States in 2000. During a Wednesday briefing announcing the death of the child, Chief Medical Officer for Covenant Health Service Area, Dr. Lara Johnson, stressed the importance of vaccination.
We were confident that we'd eradicated measles from the United States and had really gotten to a point where we just didn't see these kinds of outbreaks happening. Obviously, that has changed over the last 20-something years. When we think about vaccine-preventable illnesses, they're only preventable if we have adequate vaccination rates. And as we see those rates start to decline, across the nation, then we'll see more outbreaks.
During a meeting of U.S. President Donald Trump's cabinet on Wednesday, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said 2 people had died in the Texas outbreak, though he did not give any details on the other victim. Officials say at least 124 people were known to be infected in West Texas since early February. All but 5 of them were unvaccinated. An additional 9 cases were announced on Tuesday in eastern New Mexico near the Texas state line, where the outbreak has spread to about 10 counties. Officials also say a contagious Gaines County resident traveled to several locations in and around San Antonio, nearly 400 miles away.
And the news continues here on NET25. We'll be right back. NVIDIA's strong growth forecast for the first quarter signaled that booming demand for its artificial intelligence chips was intact. And the company said orders for its new Blackwell semiconductors were amazing. Ryan Chang reports.
NVIDIA's boss says there's still life in the AI boom. The company posted an upbeat growth forecast for its first quarter Wednesday, helping to soothe worries that demand for NVIDIA hardware would cool off after DeepSeek burst onto the scene. Last month, the Chinese AI startup claimed it developed AI models at a fraction of the cost of Western rivals like OpenAI. The shock saw NVIDIA lose $593 billion in market value, the largest one-day loss for any U.S. company. However, in an earnings call Wednesday night, CEO Jensen Huang said orders for NVIDIA's new flagship Blackwell AI chips were, quote, amazing, and that booming demand for AI chips was intact. NVIDIA expects a total revenue of $43 billion for the first quarter, compared with analysts' estimates of just under $41.8 billion. But the Santa Clara-based chipmaker says gross margins will be slightly lower. That's due to the costly and complicated ramp-up of the Blackwell chips. Earlier this week, a Reuters exclusive said Chinese companies are buying up NVIDIA's H20 chips at record rates due to booming demand for DeepSeek's low-cost AI. Those chips are capped in power as part of U.S. sanctions. The Trump administration is now considering restrictions on H20 sales to China. Speaking to Reuters, co-founder of IDX Advisors Ben McMillan said potential extreme measures under the Trump administration, such as capping the quantity or types of NVIDIA chips to China, could be a real concern to the AI powerhouse.
I think the bigger concern is that if it does get more extreme, you might see China start to reduce demand and pivot to internally sourced chips, or again just something out of what we saw with DeepSeek, where they just figure out how to do more with the lower tier NVIDIA chips, which aren't banned.
In more positive news for NVIDIA, its Spectrum X Ethernet for networking was chosen for Trump's Stargate data center project, according to CFO Colette Kress. Nvidia shares bounced between gains and losses in extended trading Thursday, after closing up 3.7% in regular trading, while the news seemed to put a rally in China and Hong Kong over DeepSeek on pause, with stocks broadly falling.
President Trump is facing backlash after sharing an AI-generated video that transforms the Gaza Strip into a luxury resort dubbed Trump Gaza. Posted on Truth Social and Instagram, the video features lavish scenes including a Trump-branded hotel, golden statues, and clips of Trump with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and Elon Musk enjoying a beachside locale. Now, the video follows Trump's controversial proposal for the U.S. to take over Gaza, relocate its 2 million residents to neighboring countries like Egypt and Jordan, and redevelop the area as the Riviera of the Middle East. International leaders, human rights groups, and Palestinian authorities have widely condemned the plan, calling it ethnic cleansing and a violation of international law. And finally, a somber note, Hollywood is mourning the loss of legendary actor Gene Hackman and his wife.
This is Gene Hackman. Happy holidays.
The two-time Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman has died. He passed away at home alongside his wife, pianist Betsy Arakawa, and their dog, according to the sheriff's office in Santa Fe, New Mexico on Thursday. There was no suspicion of foul play, the sheriff's office said in a statement. However, the exact cause of death is still undetermined, and an investigation is currently underway. Gene Hackman, a former Marine known for his raspy voice, appeared in more than 80 films, as well as television and the stage, during a lengthy career that started in the early 1960s. He received his first Oscar nomination for playing Clyde Barrow's brother in the 1967 film Bonnie and Clyde. It was his role as rumpled New York detective Popeye Doyle in The French Connection that assured his stardom and earned him a Best Actor Academy Award. Hackman's face, which he described as that of an everyday mine worker, allowed him to play both menacing and friendly characters. He retired in his 70s, saying the parts he was offered were too grandfatherly.
We did the kind of things that actors love.
And with that, we end tonight's broadcast. For everyone here on NET25, I'm Alma Angeles. Thank you for joining us. Good night.